We've managed over $400,000 in meta ad spend for pest control companies in the last year. And I'm going to show you the exact math that proves that meta works in every single pest control market, even the ones that say that the ticket is too small or you don't have enough people in your area. We work with people in Idaho and Montana, and we've seen big success. So I'm going to walk you through the three average ticket sizes of 240 bucks, 500 bucks, and 750 bucks and show you the scale story of one of my pest control clients going from 11K a month in spend to 60K a month in spend and keeping the ROAS the same at around 3x. And I'll tell you the exact threshold to where meta stops working as well. So if you ever said that meta ads won't work in your market, you need to watch this video. So every single pest control owner I talk to says the same thing. Meta's not going to work in my market, but the reasons kind of change. Some people say the ticket size is too low. We don't sell subscriptions. We just do one-time treatments. My market is too small. My competitors are killing each other on price. I've heard it all. Owners doing 300K per year to owners doing 30 million per year. We've talked with a bunch of people in the US and owners from the UK as well. It's the same objection, but a different costume on it. But the truth is, Meta works in every single ticket size, every single market, with or without a subscription model. And the owner who says it doesn't work are doing the math wrong. So I'm going to show you your math right now. Open up a calculator and pay attention. You can skip to the section that has your specific math. So if you don't do $240 average ticket and you do the 750, skip to that part. But we're going to start with 240 bucks. All right, so let's start with the lowest ticket size I see of 240 bucks in your average job. This is the UK pest control market. So if this isn't relevant to you, skip ahead. So these are one-time treatments, no subscriptions. They say that it doesn't work in the UK market, and it makes sense. Those people don't want to get put on a subscription. Anyway, here's the math. 5K a month, leads cost are around 15, probably 10. Total leads you're going to get 333. Your close rate is 20%. You're going to close 66 jobs, and your average ticket is going to be 240 bucks. Your revenue is going to be $15,840 with a 3.16 return on your ad spend. With this management fee subtracted, which mine is 1,500 bucks for this type of ad spend, you're netting about 10 grand in profit off of 5K in ad spend. The thing you can't do with this is run it for 30 days, see a cost per lead of 30 instead of 15 and quit. Meta needs at least 60 days. We like to give it 90 days to optimize though. The first month is the data collection. The second month is where we win. Even at 240 bucks with no subscription, this math still works. The owner who says it doesn't, quit before the algorithm finishes learning or won't take the risk to try. Okay, now let's bump this up to 500 bucks per job. This is most of the US companies that don't push annual contracts too hard or they don't have any upsells in place. So if your job's around this, then watch this. If not, skip to 750. So your math, we're doing the same 5K a month. Your meta lead costs are around 20 bucks because it is a subscription type based service here in the US. You're getting about 250 leads. Your close rate is about 20%. So you closed 50 jobs. Your average ticket is 500. So your revenue is 25,000 bucks. That is a 5x return on ad spend at mid market, and it nets you 20,000 a month in revenue off of 5K in ad spend. So if you subtract the same 1,500 fee that I charge, you are netting about $18,500 in revenue. Pest control owners live, and they don't realize the math is this good on Meta. All right, now the math gets really good when you bump up your average ticket size to 750 bucks. This is the subscription and annual contract pest control company with quarterly service plans. The math is the same, $5,000 in ad spend a month. Your lead cost is going to be about $22, we can call it. Your total leads is going to be 227 for the month. Your close rate is 20%. Jobs closed is 45. Your annual contract value is $750. Your revenue is about $34,000. And your return on ad spend is 6.75x. This is why the pest control companies on the subscription model crush it on Meta. The lifetime value of a customer is 3 to 5x what a one-time market gets. It's the same lead, it's the same ad, and it's 3 to 4 times more the revenue. This is basically what door-to-door companies do, but they charge you basically the first year of the contract value free. So they charge you 750 bucks per deal that they close, and they sell you on the 10-year contract. The thing is, this works the same, except you are getting the $750 back up front, and you're only paying for marketing and a management fee instead. So the math makes more sense and you get to keep more of the profit and retain those people throughout 10 years as well. Okay, so you're probably thinking now that, okay, Meta works at 5K, but does it actually scale up to 10K, 20K, 50K like Google in a month? So I'll show you the answer. One of my pest control clients was with us in September 2025, and they were spending about 11,000 a month on Meta with mediocre results, lead costs around 35 bucks. 6 months later, the same ad account is spending 60K a month with the lead cost even lower at 22 bucks, lower than when they started. That's a 5.4x increase in spend with a 37% decrease in lead cost. So how is that possible? I'm going to walk you through the three-part creative system that scales Meta. So the three things that scale Meta past 20K a month in spend is the creative rotation. We're pumping out 5 to 10 new image and video variants every single week. We never run into ad fatigue because we never run out of fresh ideas and fresh creatives. The second is pest specific ad sets, so cockroaches get their own ad sets, ants get their own ad sets, termites, etc. And the third is geographic expansion at the right moment. So when your cost per lead stabilizes in one market, you copy the campaign to the next market and you see if it works there, and then you make the changes from there. So we've taken Brooks from the Texases to Georgia to Tennessee and now into Florida as well. Meta scales exponentially with spend if you have the creative system to support it, and most agencies don't. That's where we differentiate ourselves, and that's where our management and expertise comes into play. And ultimately why people think Meta is just for tire kicker leads and things like that. So Meta doesn't always work in every single situation, or you don't see your money back up front is what we should say. So here's a threshold where Meta stops being the right channel. If you're at 150 bucks in average ticket, the math doesn't work no matter how cheap the leads are. You can't run a profitable Meta ads campaign if you're below 150. You either have to raise your prices or collect more cash upfront for it to work successfully. Markets with populations under 50,000 is threshold number 2. Meta needs a big audience size to optimize. So if your service area has fewer than 50K, you're going to burn through your audience in about 30 days, and then your lead cost is going to spike no matter how many creatives you're going to put in there. You got to stick with door-to-door, Google LSA, and tinier markets than that. Usually most markets we work with are around 100K. Threshold number 3 is your sales team can't handle the volume. Meta's going to give you 200 to 500 leads in a month, depending on your spend. And if your sales team can't handle that in 5 minutes, then you're going to waste them. And that's the biggest bottleneck that we've seen working with companies, is they're needing to hire more people and they're needing to bring on more sales reps to be able to take care of all these leads that we're getting them. Threshold number 4 is your below 5K monthly ad spend. Meta needs at least 5K to learn properly. At 1500 or 2K, algorithm isn't going to have enough data. 3K is the lowest bar that I would go for a month. So you're going to get worse results than Google for less money. So if any of these things cancel you out, I won't recommend Meta for you. But if they don't, then Meta's going to work for you and the math's on your side. Okay, so here's the exact playbook that you guys can copy and put into play today. You're going to pick your initial offer between $67 for a first service, $50 off for first treatment, first spray free for mosquitoes. So pick your offer and run it. Then you're going to build pest specific ad sets for the bugs that you service, and each one gets their own creative variants. You're going to spend 5K minimum to start in a month. Anything less is setting yourself up for some failure, and then you're going to give it 60 days. Month 1 is going to be learning. By weeks 3 and 4, you should be winning. And if you're not, reach out to me and I can help. Month 2 is where you scale big time. You're going to build a creative pipeline where you scale and put in new ads every single week. And this is the bottleneck where most agencies fail, where they just create some images, put them in there, and let them run for 90 days straight, which isn't good. Your speed to lead needs to be under 5 minutes. Text and calls within 5 minutes of a form submission. We set that up for you where we can have the phone automatically ring and connect with agents, and we send texts out within 60 seconds of a form getting submitted, no matter what time it is. Weekly calls to optimize, not just monthly. It's a weekly thing that we do. That things move fast on Meta, and if we're not optimizing week to week, we're wasting precious time and precious money. So comment or reach out to me your average job size, and I'll tell you the cost per lead that you need for Meta to work and the close percentage as well. And if you want the same math broken down for another industry, whether that's HVAC, plumbing, roofing, then subscribe, and we're going to make that video next week. And if you're a pest control owner who's been told that Meta won't work for your market and you want me to look at your ad account directly, I will audit it for free and send you some free images on top of that that you can test as well. So thank you, and I will see you in the next one.